Welcome to podcast 43. Yes, 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 maybe, but yes.
We're live.
All
We're
right.
recording.
we are. Well, welcome to podcast 43.
43, the sixth episode.
The sixth episode. You know, I can't believe it's been going for this long.
I know. We're 6 weeks in. Happy, proud of. I'm pretty happy with the show and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You can start, we've had enough episodes where, we'll just have an episode that's just a clip show, of our favorite, of the viewers' and listeners' favorite moments.
That would, I don't know how it would work in a podcast. Well, I guess it wouldn't be that too hard to do. That'd be interesting.
That was like one of my favorite. So Kevin Smith had I think in 2000, Kevin Smith had like a Clerks animated show, and it only lasted like 6 episodes. But one of the best jokes was they had a clip show episode and the second episode, and they just talked about the first episode and like things that never happened.
Oh, okay, I get it. If it's played up for a joke like that.
Yeah, no, that is such a good joke.
Community did good with that too, but they just made up random stuff that happened.
Yeah, actually, I watched that episode.
Yeah, I'm in season 4 now.
Ooh, I heard season 4 kind of gets a bit bad because that's when Dan Harmon left. So.
Yeah, I believe he comes back for 5.
Yeah, he does.
Okay,
yeah.
So, I mean, it's all right. I don't like how Pierce has been kind of degraded. He's just there's a word for it, but I don't remember what it is. But he just it's when the character had its faults and then they just become solely their faults.
Flanderization.
What is it? Flanderization. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's what I feel like is kind of happening to Pierce. Like everyone else gets their moments, but I don't think he's had like a big sentimental moment yet. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's right. So enough of this.
The community podcast. We're switching it up. I think the cast already done that.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Dan Harmon has his podcast, Harmontown. Which is cool. We're gonna become the Harmontown
Ease
podcast.
The sequel. So I guess we can start off with going back to our new schedule of going through the things that we've watched recently. If you want to start.
Right. All right. Well, I watched some good stuff and some bad stuff. Coming off with start with the bad, I guess. I watched Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
And you loved it.
And I loved it.
I've heard it's notoriously bad. Like absurdly bad. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty it earns that title. A lot of it, and it's not even thematically it's pretty bad and uninspired, but on top of that, most of it is just Kirk Cameron having a discussion with his brother-in-law in a car, and then they do a dance number at the end, dancing to Christian music. Yeah,
you can't. A comedy doesn't earn the title of being a comedy until it has a ending dance number. See, Ghostbusters 2016 understood that best.
That's right.
They understood it so well that they just put it in the end credits.
I remember, I know this wasn't at the end, but in the Emoji Movie, they went into the Just Dance app, trademark, and had a dance party. That was cool.
God, I didn't even know that.
But yeah, and in Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, they also padded the runtime. Like it was like probably like 70 minutes with 80 minutes with credits, but like the credits were like maybe like 10 minutes long. but it didn't look like there was a lot of care that went into it.
I've seen the poster, and I don't think there was.
And I didn't really feel like Christmas was saved. I felt like more like it was Kirk Cameron finding a excuse for his rampant materialism to manifest at the holiday season, and that, you know, buying gifts and not giving to the poor and stuff is like good, you know.
The most like simplistic meaning to make a movie.
Yeah,
Not that it's not true, but you know. Yeah.
But it's like more like leveled. It's like criticisms leveled at, like, because the guy, his brother-in-law is like, oh, I don't know how I feel about Christmas, because like, what about all this? Why are we buying all this stuff, and like, why is it such a commercial holiday when we should be focusing on like giving back to poor people and stuff? And like, then like Kirk Cameron like weaves this web of like bullshit to like excuse all this stuff. Well, then they have a huge dance party, of course, at the end, and in Kirk Cameron's giant McMansion.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie just kind of ends. So that was dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't watch that. Even out of morbid curiosity, it wasn't
Yeah, I thought it
watch.
may be a movie to watch with friends, but it doesn't even sound like it has any like good, bad, redeeming qualities.
Yeah, I watched it with friends, and yeah, we didn't really enjoy it too much. Got the old half star, one of the few. But what about this? Do you have any other dog shit to match my dog shit that I watched this week?
I have two films that I guess could be deemed dog shit, but one of them I don't really like. So one of them was called Frogs, and it's like have you heard of it before?
Frogs.
Yeah, me and two of our friends, we were just trying to find something funny to watch, so we went to Amazon, which is like a gold mine of, you know, just a varying quality of horror
Saving
films.
Christmas was on there too.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like Frogs, it's a horror film based around like animals, right? And I say animals because, or I should say reptiles, right? But then like, so the movie's called Frogs, but a single frog doesn't kill anyone. Because it really can't unless it's like a poisonous frog, right?
So what's the horror aspect?
That's the thing. It's like so it's like it's super lazily made in terms of like it's such a pale imitation of all of the classic like horror techniques used in filmmaking at the time. What year was it? It was 1972. So they shoot it like a slasher film, but it's like like snakes and small lizards killing people. There's like an alligator scene, and it has like this ominous feel to it. But I mean, the film is it's the least scariest thing I've ever seen, which I didn't expect it to scare me because it was Frogs. But it's got a really young Sam Elliott in it, and he's got no mustache, and it's quite sad.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Elliott without a mustache isn't Sam Elliott.
Yeah, no, it's but it's funny if you think about it's funny if you think about it being a porno, because the script does feel like a porno, and and Sam Elliott is kind of like trying to bang the grandpa and everything.
Trying to bang the grandpa.
Yeah, there's like a plantation type aspect. And it's I don't know, man. It's got some strange elements to it. I don't think it's very good, but if you're it's a good bad movie. But
from the 70s.
Yeah, 1972. Yeah. I say it's a good bad movie. I mean, you can get some material out of it, but I'd say there are other good bad movies that will work in your favor way more than this movie. And then the other one I watched was Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, which has a very have you seen it?
I've never seen the whole thing. I just laughed because I just think of the part at the end which I have seen, where he finds
that it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't actually hate the movie, which is, I mean, you know me, I don't think like the audience, the listeners, like it takes a lot for me to actually hate a film, Like I try to walk away. Yeah, I try to walk away with at least some. Like I normally walk away with something. I try to appreciate something of the film, or like see the potential in the film. It really does take a lot for me to hate a film, and there are films that I hate. This movie, I didn't think it was as bad as people make it out to be. Like it's definitely got its really weird and goofy moments where I can understand people not liking it. Like I can understand people not liking this. Like originally it was supposed to be Johnny Depp instead of, Mark Wahlberg. And like the beginning is funny. Like it's I don't know.
Tim Burton must have been so pissed backstage that he couldn't get his best friend.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. It was because of he committed to Pirates of the Caribbean, so it was a scheduling conflict, so he wasn't able to do it. Which I don't even know if the film would have been better with him. I think it would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the film. I'm a big fan of the Planet of the Apes movies, and so I always do really enjoy seeing how the remake handles things. And it's been so long since I've seen the original franchise that this one definitely does takes its own liberties, and it's different, but it does have its own kind of little spin on things. But and the ending makes no sense. Like I don't know if I want to spoil it. Do you care?
No, I mean I don't think that our listeners would really care too much.
I mean it came out I think 2001. Yeah, 2001. And this isn't a movie that's like I think I might be in the select few of people that actually like don't mind it. So the way it goes is like Mark Wahlberg is training a chimp, right, to fly a spacecraft. And so I know it's like an old trope, but they're like, no, the chimp has to do it because we have to make sure that it's safe for humans. And so there's like that commander in it. And so the chimp goes out and they send him into like this electromagnetic storm. And then like a part of the storm like reflects and hits his ship and he disappears. So Mark Wahlberg's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get him. And so he goes and gets him, and the same thing happens to him. And then he lands in like this little like jungle pond thing. He lands like he lands on this different planet, gets submerged, and then the whole thing happens where he finds the humans, but they're being hunted by the apes and all this shit. And then so just to make a long story short, he finds this crash ship, and that ship was the ship that was sent to find him and recover him, right? But it's been crashed. So, and then there's this whole conflict at the ship where, Thade, which is the general for the apes, gets like, no, I won't go into it. But they, him and Mark Wahlberg fight, and both the human army and the ape army are fighting and stuff, and then this spaceship comes down and lands, and then it turns out that was Mark Wahlberg's chimp that he was looking for, that he went after, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then the apes believe this to be their like Messiah or God, right? And so and then I don't know . But
how does Abraham Lincoln
factor into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this Messiah comes down, or what they believe to be the Messiah comes down, right? And then, long story short, Mark Wahlberg gets in his spaceship to go back to Earth. So then he goes back to Earth, and then he lands at the Lincoln Memorial, and it's instead of it being Abraham Lincoln, it's Thade, that commander. So I watched a video on how to make sense of it, because it doesn't make any sense. And so
it was
apparently,
in the book, I believe, right?
I have read that it took more inspiration from the book rather than Rod Sterling's original script, which is fine. But it was like with the electromagnetic storm, the farther you go in your timeline, the farther back it would send you in the other timeline. So if you go off that knowledge, it still doesn't make any sense. Why would Thade be there? But so the ending doesn't really make sense to me. But apparently it was supposed to be the start of a trilogy, and I believe it was going to be further explained. But I mean, as people know, it kind of failed with the first one, so they never got to explain it.
What a shame. Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, at least it paved the way for them to say, why don't we just make a trilogy that doesn't have to be just a retread. So
yeah, and apparently they are making Disney is making a fourth Planet of the Apes movie, and it's believed to continue the current storyline, but I'm kind of scared because it's
I mean, I didn't like the third one, so I
enjoyed the third one, but I am going to rewatch it because it's been I like the trilogy that they made, but the director handling and writing the fourth movie is Wes Ball, and he did the Maze Runner trilogy.
That's a pretty badass name, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool name,
Wes
but
Ball.
I mean, I thought they were okay. I thought the Maze Runner, I didn't even see the third one. I don't even know if I saw the second one.
Did I ever tell you, I got like a Maze Runner story actually. When I was like, it was like me and a bunch of people. We really wanted to see Black Mass, but we were 15, so we couldn't go, and so we bought tickets to Maze Runner 2: The Scorch Trials. And we snuck into Black Mass, and we got caught by like the theater usher, and he was like, can you just like go back to your theater, please? And then we were like, all right, fine. So we went back, and like, I don't know, you just had like an absolute blast watching Maze Runner The Scorch Trials.
Did you ever see Black Mass?
No, I still haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen like maybe like the first 30 minutes. Yeah,
it's
you
good.
know, I like when they do the Boston accents and shit. But yeah, I'll get around to it eventually.
Do you have another movie that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I got a few. I got two.
Okay, me too.
First one is Swingers, the Doug
Vince
Liman
Vaughn
film. Yeah, Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, Ron Livingston. Just just such a great dudes rock picture. Dudes rocking so hard. Dudes going to Vegas to pick up rebound chicks. That type of vein. I just loved it. I just had such a that's right. I just had such a great time with it.
Yeah.
It's a good breakup movie. I think that Vince Vaughn is usually never somebody that I'd say, wow, that guy, that's an attractive dude. But in Swingers, he pulls it off, I
remember you mentioning he's got the suaveness in Swingers and also Psycho, right?
And yeah,
as you famously have been quoted.
Yeah, famous for playing the smooth talking Norman Bates in the Van Sant Psycho remake. Vince Vaughn.
One day we'll review it.
Yeah, one day we'll do our Psycho remake retrospective. But I was thinking actually a better idea. There's a little behind the scenes stuff, listeners. We could do the Vince Vaughn as a crazy person and Owen Wilson as a crazy person double feature, because there's that Owen Wilson movie that I've really wanted to see called The Minus Man, where he's a serial killer, and then we could do Psycho.
What?
So it's like, the dynamic.
The Minus Man?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
Is he shaved
head? Came out in like the mid '90s.
He doesn't have a shaved head. He should have a shaved head for this role. Yeah, this one's going on the list.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swingers is just a really great time. It's a fun hang. I would definitely implore people to just watch it if you just want kind of a light watch. And then moving on to heavier things, my last film that I'd like to talk about, and the best thing that I watched this week, other than our featured film, The Double Life of Veronique, it's probably tied with that, would be Abel Ferrara's Bad Lieutenant. just a real heater of a performance from Harvey Keitel as a just the most awful, corrupt cop you can think of. Just like very, immoral, doing immoral things, but on kind of a redemption arc at the same time. And also, if you watch this movie and you really notice a lot of similarities that the Safdies took from it with Uncut Gems, like a lot of things that I noticed, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. Like the whole, he has a gambling addiction, Harvey Keitel's character in Bad Lieutenant. And throughout the whole movie, it's based around him betting on the National League, the National League Championship series against the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's just betting money on this, and it's always playing in the background. And without getting into it, it all culminates into the ending in crescendos. But like that is very similar, to like how the utilization of the Celtics the Celtics 76ers series in the NBA playoffs, plays a role, how it plays a role in Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just great performance from Keitel and just a great.
You said that was Bad Lieutenant?
Yeah, Bad Lieutenant. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
NC-17, baby.
Let's go.
Very, very controversial at the time. For a lot of reasons.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did I talk about this as the end last week? I feel like I did.
No, I don't think
I didn't? Okay. So, my last two films, one of them was This Is the End, which is probably one of my favorite Seth Rogen comedies, I guess. It's definitely high up there. I know it's really stupid, but I do enjoy watching it. I think
Speaking of dance numbers at the end of films.
Oh, yeah, with the Backstreet Boys. Well, that one fits in. Like, that one actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's, like, pays off really well. I don't have too much to say on it. I just love personified assholes that they all turn out to be, like, within the film. Danny McBride. Yeah, he's the pinnacle of that film. I think if he wasn't in it, I don't know if the film would have worked as much, because I've watched it like 3 or 4 times, I think, since it came out. I come back to it here and there, and I think I kind of get bored of just upon rewatching it. He is the savior of those rewatches to me. And the other
Channing Tatum sex slave.
Channing Tatum's my bitch. See that? Look how it goes. Yeah, man. Oh my god, yeah. And then the other movie I watched to cap it off was Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
dude.
man. Because I kept seeing all the I'd always meant to watch it, and then I saw the table read stuff, and I just thought it was really funny, especially with Shia LaBeouf. Have you seen the clips of that?
Yeah, well, you sent me one.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I couldn't remember.
Brad Pitt being Judge Reinhold's character.
I would really like. It wouldn't make any sense, but I would really like all those cast. I'd like the whole table read to remake the movie, just for whatever.
You know that's like one of my favorite movies, right?
I've heard you talk about it a good bit, and man, it's got such a I feel so bad for Jennifer Leanne, is that her name? No.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, because Mike is an ass, man. But she gets a good
like
person.
2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love. That. I don't love that scene, but I think it's really funny. Save myself there, but it reminds me of it's got like that kind of wholesome, like, slice of life quality that I think is in Dazed and Confused and American Graffiti. and those two movies I really like, especially American Graffiti, and I actually started more American Graffiti, but it's been so long since I've seen the first one that I kind of couldn't remember who was who, and I think they either recasted everyone or just had some members kind of show up. So it might
I'm
be
assuming Harrison Ford didn't sign on to that one.
Oh God,
right?
no! I think the only one that actually returns, from what I can tell, is Ron Howard, and I could be wrong. And I think he only has like, I don't think he has a big role in it. I think I saw that he was in the beginning.
But yeah, Fast Times. I love Fast Times so much, and I watch it probably once every year. I have for the past like 5 years, and just wrote something on it actually. But it's such a great film to me because I think it really captures the '80s in the best way possible with its series of vignettes and what it picks up on culturally, and the music that they used, which was popular music at the time. Just that opening with
it's held
We Got
up
the Beat
extremely well.
Yeah, exactly. It's really held up in the fact that it's dated in the best way. Like it's
not
dated.
Yeah. It's not rapey.
Yeah, not. I mean, there's some weird stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
like that,
I'm thinking of the sister's best friend.
Oh,
Was that
yeah.
Yeah, that seems a little
yeah.
uncomfortable, but at least, he's not,
Yeah.
like 16 Candles or anything.
Yeah,
But,
and that's another thing. It's just like a shame that like the one that people tend to cling on to as far as like being the best like teen '80s movie is, well, I mean, 16 Candles I think is definitely faded as people realize
I've
that
noticed.
it's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But
sure.
but the Breakfast Club is just not as good because it has this sense
I've
of
never seen it.
self-importance. You're not missing much.
Yeah.
It's like it feels so up its own ass in a lot of ways, as far as like it wants to be like this like profound statement on like cultural cliques, and it's like, nah, you're just all like white middle class kids from Chicago. Like, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High doesn't try to do that. It's just, this is what's going on. These are vignettes of these characters. Enjoy them doing funny things, and that's why I really like it.
That was my thing. Like, I feel like my biggest thing with like modern coming of age stories is that they just don't feel accurate.
Yeah,
like
because they all copy the Breakfast Club format in a lot of ways.
My thing that like, I like Booksmart, but I don't get what people were talking about when they're like, this is a modern, like this perfectly it's a perfect look at modern teenage life. And I was like, I mean, obviously I'm not going to have the same experience as the people in the film. But I thought there was just some stuff that was kind of played up like that. I mean, that wouldn't really happen. But that's, part of film is to do that, but I just didn't get people's, like, they praised it for being true, and I didn't see that.
I think Superbad does that a lot better as far as, like, the sincerity and the earnestness of these characters. And, like, it doesn't really have a sense of self-importance. I mean, like, at the end of the movie, it's like, these characters go their separate ways.
I did enjoy that part of, like, I think Booksmart is a good film.
I think it's good too. Yeah.
I didn't get that. People said that a lot, and then I watched it expecting, like, I feel like Fast Times and American Graffiti and Dazed and Confused, they do a good job at portraying American teenage life during their respective time periods. And I don't feel like I can't really look at a film, like a modern coming of age film, and be like, yeah, that's what it was like. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
Might be a personal thing.
Actually, the
Edge of 17.
Edge of 17. Edge of 17 again. It doesn't. It has the self-importance that it, like, I don't know.
I just remember being really distracted. There was a lot of like production. I guess, continuity errors that I noticed throughout the film, and I just couldn't stop looking for. I couldn't stop looking for 'em. There's like extras that would pop up in scenes that they weren't supposed to be in. It was really weird. Like there was this one girl, this one blonde lady that showed up, like, in. It felt really often. Maybe it wasn't that often, but I remember noticing her a lot, and I was like, wait, but she was supposed to be far back there, and then now she's on the opposite side. I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
Nitpick. Yeah, nitpick. It doesn't take away from the film in any way, shape, or form. But.
Working on my 45-minute essay on why the continuity errors in Edge of 17 make it objectively bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other coming. I mean, I really liked. I know this is a little bit of a detour, but I think it's kind of interesting. Was Kings of Summer? I thought that was a very nice, like, heartwarming film.
Nice twee indie joint. Yeah, I did enjoy that when I watched it. I mean, I was probably like 15 when I watched it.
Oh yeah,
but it was
same here. It was my favorite movie for like a good few years. I just I loved how it made me feel. It made me feel like everything was gonna be okay.
Yeah,
it's a comfort movie, you know.
Yeah, like I remember. I remember really enjoying The Spectacular now when I watched it when I was like probably 14, but I feel like if I revisited it, I probably wouldn't like it.
I thought it was okay. I like Miles Teller. I think Shailene Woodley does good too, but I thought it was all right. I'm not over the
car accident. The whole car accident subplot.
But dude, it's so weird because she apologizes to him.
Yeah,
and he didn't. He was the one that was drunk. She didn't do anything wrong.
And
like,
then
I don't know.
That shit at the beginning. It makes me wince just thinking about. I just thought about how the beginning starts with like, I'm writing this essay. You're probably wondering like how like what my summer was like and if I'm supposed to write the cliche. It was just like.
Yeah, well, then you gave into the cliche.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about this movie now, and I'm almost wanting to say, man, fuck The Spectacular now.
Did you like Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl?
I actually still have not seen it.
I remember I did a double feature, and I saw that and Dope.
Dope's a good one.
Yeah, Dope is good.
Yeah.
I liked Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I rewatch it every few years, it feels like, but I think I might really like the cast, and I don't think the story is
the strongest part.
It's a tearful one, I guess you could say. I'm trying to think if it's cliched, because it does seem to ride some tropes, but I don't know. I enjoy the film. I really like the cast. I really like the movie. It's nice.
Yeah,
but
I guess Submarine I saw not too long ago.
Submarine's really good too.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I wish Richard Ayoade would do more films. I think he did Neighborhood Watch, or was that Akiva?
Wait, as in
Akiva Schaffer.
Oh, Akiva Schaffer.
Yeah. Who did The Watch? Sorry.
That would be Richard Ayoade.
Oh, Akiva. Yeah, Richard Ayoade was just in it. My bad.
Richard Ayoade he directed The Double as well.
I still haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I still get to see. And he directed an Arctic Monkeys concert film. So.
Oh, interesting. Well, on that note, me and you can cut for. Oh, actually, no. We still have news to do. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. Oh wow. My bad. Okay. Well, we'll make it quick.
Okay. Yeah, we had a bit of a
tangent.
Digression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I always do like coming of age discussion.
That's right.
Film discussion. We'll start off with despite what I thought was going to happen and the current pandemic situation, Mulan has apparently performed very well. That's what Disney has said. That's it. I didn't expect it to do well.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit because they haven't released numbers. It sounds like PR hogwash because they were like they pushed back all their other major
Yeah.
releases to next year. I mean that doesn't look good. If it would real, I mean if they're really saying that it was a
Yeah.
success.
Well, they said
Yeah.
it. They said it performed, and I quote, very well. And then Tenet also said the same thing. Or no, Warner Brothers said the same thing about Tenet, but Tenet released its numbers. It's already made
Yeah.
like over 250 million.
Yeah, so I
Um,
believe it more.
yeah.
I mean,
I think
if
that's
they
pretty good, given the current situation and it not being on video on demand.
exactly. Yeah.
But
If they
mhm.
really wanted, if they really care, if they really if they really thought that, then they would show that they would at least post some form of numbers to prove it. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
My thing is like, as much as I wish theaters would be okay, I don't know if sitting on these films is going to be the best thing anymore, because um James Bond is already going through its second wave of like mass marketing, and they're already talking about delaying that again. So I mean, they're kind of becoming these things that are sitting on the shelves that are like anchoring them down, which I'm a little
Yeah.
worried about, but it's not up to us. I love going to theaters. I wish more things would go to theaters, but I also understand, because of the current situation, that isn't it isn't an option for some people. And some places theaters still aren't open.
Yeah.
Speaking of delays, I guess we'll go ahead and get the as me and you had briefly talked about last episode, Black Widow did get delayed till 2021, along with I think the rest of Disney's slate, and then
Yeah.
I know I think like every single major release besides James Bond or No Time to Die has been delayed till 2021. I want to say Wonder Woman got delayed. Oh no, there's still I think Dune is coming out on Christmas.
Yeah, Dune. I
Yeah.
don't think they pushed back. And
Wonder
then-
Woman they pushed to Christmas too, or no, like a week before or a week after Christmas or something.
and
My
the
bad.
and the Blumhouse Vince Vaughn Freaky Friday joint.
Which podcast 43 is super excited about.
That's still coming out.
Yeah.
In November.
That
so-
one wouldn't make sense to wait.
Really?
I think they'll do just fine.
Right.
Speaking of, I've never seen these movies, but I thought it was kind of relevant because it's Steve Martin. But they're doing a Father of the Bride reunion and a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Why
Mother of the bruh.
yeah, why I don't know.
Well, I guess Fresh Prince, aren't they? Wait, Father of the Bride film reunion, or are they just doing the script read thing?
I
they've
think
been just
Netflix
doing?
is doing an episode reunion. So
Well, Father of the Bride's. Are they? Or maybe they're making another movie.
it's possible. I didn't look too far into it just because I don't really know anything about it.
I don't either.
Yeah, but speaking of kind of special things along the line, oh, I guess Netflix, the Aaron Sorkin's new film, The Trial of the Chicago 7, is coming out, and it looks like they're gearing that one up for Academy Awards. Kind of looks like it's gonna be in that vein. I haven't watched the
Yeah.
trailer. I'll definitely watch the movie because I do like Aaron Sorkin. I didn't see Molly's Game though.
I think he's really. I think he's good. I like Aaron
Mhm.
Sorkin in some ways, but he's also really. It's also funny to. He also, his writing is definitely something to make fun of.
Mhm.
Like I read this in Variety today or yesterday. Aaron Sorkin reveals how he would write Election Night 2020, and then this is the quote: "Trump does what we all assume he will do, which is not concede defeat. For the first time, his Republican enablers march up to the White House and say, 'Donald, it's time to go.'"
That just sounds well, we're not gonna I don't think we're gonna get super political, but it just
Oh,
sounds
no,
like
no,
he's
no, no,
like
it's just
over
funny, yeah.
he's like over I don't even know what shit, I forgot the word, but it sounds like he's playing it up so much.
Oh,
Like it's
yeah.
this huge cinematic moment I don't know. It just
So I'm looking forward to Aaron Sorkin's next script.
Did you speaking of did you see that Showtime has a show called The Calmly Rule, and it's about Trump? And I saw the trailer and I thought it was a joke.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that trailer and I was like, I just
I thought it was Alec Baldwin. Like I legit thought it was a joke.
yeah, I was
so
laughing
funny.
so hard. Dude, it's gonna be so bad. Oh my God.
It's Brendan Gleeson, Tomahawk Gleeson's
Yeah.
father. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That looks really funny.
Is it a TV movie or is it?
It's I think it's a mini series.
Okay.
But it was just funny because it was like the eyes of, they did like a POV shot of Trump, and like there's like these like half naked ladies coming up. He's like, hello, lady. Hello. I'm not even gonna try and do the impression because I'm obviously not getting it right. But it was just like,
hello, ladies.
Hello, lady. And then yeah, but I guess we'll move on. There's being I don't even know how this is happening so soon, but I'm assuming it'll probably be on HBO Max. But James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, John Cena has a character, and apparently he's getting his own spin-off show. And then The Boys TV show, which I have yet to watch, but I'll get around to it eventually, is also getting a spin-off.
Well, on top of that HBO Max news, I don't know if you heard that they're making a Rashomon mini series, which just sounds absolutely abysmal. I don't know. Because
I just don't. I don't understand.
It's almost like they just had to find something.
Dude, I mean, they're the kings of reunions right now. I mean, they're doing the Friends thing. I don't know if Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to be on there, but they're just pulling everyone out the woodwork.
But it's like on top of that, like Rashomon is a movie that's very much a product of the time. Like you could have picked so many other Kurosawa movies, because Rashomon is like created like kind of this narrative structure about different perspectives and different points of view.
Yeah.
But like what does like why even update that? Like who cares? Like
I've got no idea. That really, out of all the reunions, why would they pick that one? You know, because when you do a reunion, it's either to earn money, you know, pull on nostalgia,
it's not
to
a
actually
reunion.
update. Oh, they're doing a sequel?
No, they're making a mini series, a remake mini series. No, I think Everybody's Dead that was in Rashomon, because it came out in like 1950. So
my bad. I think we were just talking about reunions, and my brain was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The last thing that I have to talk about is David Leith's new movie, and he's famous for the John Wick series. And did he do Atomic Blonde too?
He directed Atomic Blonde, and he choreographed John Wick.
Okay, yeah. So he co-directed the first one, I believe, but I don't know who did John Wick 2. Oh, okay. Okay, so he co-directed the first one, I believe. My bad. Anyways, his new movie has Ryan Gosling in it, and it's gonna be about a stunt man.
Oh.
So, does that sound familiar?
No, not at all.
Which I'm excited for. I like Ryan Gosling, anyways. So we'll see. I thought Atomic Blonde was all right.
I thought Atomic Blonde was okay after I left the theater, and the more I think about it, the worse it gets in my head.
Yeah.
it did make me fall in love with the song "Blue Monday" by New Order, because I did not know about that song until the trailer dropped for that. So I do give that much. I do much appreciate the usage of now one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It was just like a lot of fight sequences. No, not a lot, not enough fight sequences strung together with a pretty meh plot, and a cool setting though that I don't think was utilized fully of Berlin at the time of
Yeah.
the
It
collapse of the
yeah.
USSR.
I think that might be one of the other films where I liked a good bit of the aspects of it, but you know, remember it being a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll end it there. We will take an ad break, and we will be right back. And we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Boop,
That's
boop, boop.
right. Oi, oi, oi. When's
mhm.
the soundboard gonna come out? You know?
I was gonna do it today. I was gonna get it hooked up, but I thought since me and you were already ready, because like I have to either restart my computer or keep closing down Discord until it eventually likes to work. So normally I just have to run I had to run the voice mod first and then do Discord. Sometimes it works like a charm, and sometimes it takes some restarting. But
I see.
Next week, we'll sure as hell have it.
Let's go.
I need to get some more I need to get some more sounds that are more targeted towards, I think, this podcast, because I kind of just have a bunch of random stuff on it, like like fart sound effects and
bruh.
and bruh. So it's not. I don't think it would fit very well in this podcast. But never say never.
All right. Well, without further ado, now we can get into our featured film, which is Krzysztof Klejzowski's The Double Life of Veronique from 1991. I picked this movie because I'm a big fan of Klejzowski's work, especially the Three Colors trilogy, which I think is like one of the best examples of 90s. One of the best two, the blue and red, the first and the second of the trilogy being like two of my favorite films of the 90s. As well as his whole philosophical ideological project that he kind of projects in his movies, and this film no doubt had that too. But before we start with the film, I would like to ask what do you think, what did you think about the movie, and what do you think, do you like Klejzowski's other movies, or what other of his films have you seen?
I think the only thing I've seen is the first episode of the Decalogue, and it's been on my list to finish because I bought it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I bought it from the Criterion Collection, and I think that's the only other thing from him that I've seen besides this. And so my first impressions of this film, I wrote down some notes, and I'll just read them out really quick. They're not spoilers or anything, but they're not really like great notes. You remember the conductor from the first half of the film?
Yeah. Yes.
He reminded me so much of, I think his name was Sam from Synecdoche, New York, just in look. I don't know why I connected that. And then I also feel like this movie, and maybe it goes for the rest of Krzysztof's work, I've never seen it, I feel like it kind of inspired, I don't know if it was just the general look and feeling of it, if it inspired Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria remake in terms of how it felt and the aspect, or in terms of how it felt and the aesthetics of that film. I felt like it reminded me of it, which I know me and you have our opinions on Suspiria, but we don't have to get into I think the movie's okay. I'm thinking it's, but
it's a whole lot of nothing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna, because Yeah, but I don't want to get too far
Yeah,
off
I
track.
get you. Yeah.
I thought it had a very interesting trance-like nature to the film, and what I kind of mean by that is I felt like I was watching, like the film was trying to put me in a trance, right? It felt very kind of ominous, and I I I enjoyed the film, but I wish I could have liked it more. I felt like I had a hard time getting into it. Um,
Uh-huh.
so,
Well,
but that doesn't, I still think it's a very, very well made film. Um,
well,
mhm,
I see. So what I saw while watching this, which came out before the Three Colors trilogy,
mhm.
which was the Three Colors Red was the last thing that he ever made. He retired after doing that, and then he died.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay. Interesting.
but these two the Double Life of Veronique and Three Colors in Three
Mhm,
Colors trilogy kind of represent like a different period in his filmmaking compared to even like the Decalogue and stuff and how they look and stuff. And this has kind of a similar visual style to Three Colors, where
mhm,
Three Colors, blue, white, and red, all those three colors in Three Colors blue, like blue is a prominent color in the whole movie, and then white in the second one, and then red in the third one. This, it's
mhm.
green. It's
Yeah.
like this
I
kind of
picked
like
up on that. Yeah.
yellowish green, which I love. Like I think that his cinematography,
It's
which I'd
amazing.
have, yeah, it's so good. Like
Yeah.
that,
It's awesome.
and Kieslowski, pronouncing his last name has always been
A hard one.
a great
Yeah, I
challenge
was
for
gonna
me.
let you handle that because I knew I couldn't. I knew I was gonna mess it up.
but like he just weaves this great story of like fate, and it's uh just like a great, like, I don't know, it's hard to put it into words
Yeah.
just how much I greatly enjoyed this movie, and a lot of it was aided from the great cinematography. Like any
Mhm.
shots, I rarely ever do this, but when I saw like the shots of her like reflection
Mhm.
on like the windows, the glass panes of like windows and stuff, I just was like, that's so fucking beautiful. Oh my
Yeah.
god, like,
Yeah. No,
and
I mean, and you're right, rightfully to say that. I will
but
say this.
mhm.
It's a little small thing. I I kind of thought it was funny because I couldn't stop thinking. Like the author in Puppeteer.
Yeah,
Did he
yeah.
remind you of the Riddler? Like, I couldn't stop. I know it's so stupid, but it
um,
reminded me so much of the Riddler.
His name is Alexander Fabry, played by
Mm-hmm.
Philippe Voltaire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't, I wouldn't. Maybe I'd take him for like kind of, yeah, like kind of like a charismatic Riddler, because in the
Yeah.
movie,
Just, he's giving her breadcrumbs, to find him. Sorry,
he's
it
like,
was just a little thing. Yeah.
I waited for 48 hours.
Maybe more.
But yeah, like I just find his the whole thing of like fate and duality kind of a really interesting theme to explore, as well as like the idea that you live among somebody that is exactly similar in you physically, and can also like feel that person
Mm-hmm.
on like a spiritual level, or like
Mm-hmm.
on like a but not understand like why. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I found it to be kind of a very sad. It was like a horny movie, but it was like depressingly horny. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. No, I
It was just
agree.
like sad. Like he's just like making out with her, and she's just like crying.
Yeah, that made me uncomfortable because I was like, I don't know if this is the best, the best
Yeah,
thing to be doing at this moment in time.
yeah.
Um, but she didn't fight him. but I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a little weird.
It was a little
wrong place, wrong time. Bad timing. He couldn't read the room.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah.
But like the whole, and then the musical piece at the beginning, which is I want to say that she sings at the beginning, which is, I think, is just a beautiful song.
Are you talking about the opening of the film?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
But then they're so the Polish, so in the movie there's Veronique
and
Veronica.
Yeah.
Veronique is French and Veronica is Polish, and they're both portrayed by Irene Jacob, the Swiss actress.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with Veronica, and she's an opera singer, she's a singer, and then the song that they use, and then the song that Veronique, the French woman, is teaching her students about is the same song. So it's like this idea of like kind of slight similarities that they share, but like without like exactly mirroring each other to a T. Like with the whole like burned mark on Veronica's finger, while Veronique does not have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Klejazowski's kind of interesting in like how he's Polish, and but he did like a lot of like French co-productions. So you have a lot of movies like this which take place in Poland and like France. Like Three Colors White takes place in Poland mostly, and there's French parts. Yeah, so
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely the film definitely got me interested to check out more of his work, and I've heard you talk about the Colors trilogy before, and I've always wanted to see him. I just have never gotten around to it. So I was interested to check this out, and yeah, I read a review that says this is a movie. Hit the reviewer's experience was that the first time he saw it, he didn't really care for it too much, but it grew with him over time. So that might be the case with me. It might grow with me over time. But sometimes a film just doesn't click for you, and I think that's kind of what happened here. But I still am able to appreciate the filmmaking at play, though. Like, I really did like it. I thought the acting was very, very good, too.
Bolton politely saying that he hated a movie.
No, in terms of films that I hate, this is nowhere near hatred for me. So, yeah.
The whole...
Thank you, Chris.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the whole you live with... There's somebody that's exactly like you. Like, I probably first saw that when I watched Enemy, the Denis Villeneuve movie.
That's also another movie I've always wanted to see.
Does it just so much better than that movie? I mean, I think Villeneuve does it in such an overt way, and it's like oh, it gets so crazy and suspenseful. But I really appreciate how this
it has a subtlety to it.
Of like a subtlety to it that I tend to appreciate more as I've gotten older, and it not just this like crazy balls to the wall revelation.
I feel like the movie does have this I don't know if you'd call it a calmness, but it doesn't seem to have too many not emotional, but it doesn't seem to like build itself up or tear itself down, if that kind of makes sense. It's kind of got like this midline to it.
I mean,
to me, well, the ending is very sad, but
the biggest thing that happens is we're just gonna make sure
Spoilers.
we're gonna get into spoiler
Yeah.
territory now.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get to that. Well, there's kind of a big climax when Veronica just dropped dead from a
Yeah.
massive heart attack.
That scene I actually did really like. I really, really liked how he shot that with the
Yeah,
camera kind of swinging around and then going over the audience and the POV shots. I thought that was very nicely, very, very tastefully done.
no, exactly. I thought that was it really captured like this feeling of like unease and of imminent terror uh, that she was experiencing before she died. On top of that, I was very bummed out, literally screaming at the TV when he was about to say the title. When
Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you you need to add this to your letterbox list of movies that almost say their title.
yeah, movies that almost say the
Yeah.
title. When he's like, you know, I
The
when
double
when
life
Alexander.
of, I don't know what the name.
Yeah, when Alexander Fabry makes the duplicate marionettes of Veronique, and he makes two of them, which is a very, very not so subtle, uh, example of like, Veronique and Veronica
Yeah.
being similar. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know what to call these, the double life of, and then and I'm like,
I
just
started
say
laughing.
it.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did want to this film I can't gotta give it credit to it, or not really give it credit, but I thought it was kind of funny how it's got like the calmest flashing scene I've ever seen in a movie before.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah.
she has that kind of first rumble in her chest or something, and she Veronique has this feeling in her chest, and she sits down at a park bench, or not a park bench, a sidewalk bench, and she kind of like tilts her head and looks up, and this dude in a trench coat just kind of like opens it up slightly, and you see it, and then he closes it again and just keeps walking at the same pace. I thought that was I thought it was a little funny, but it's
Like,
also very fucked up.
why? I was like, why was this included?
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't understand that, what it was getting at, but
but that
is
scene,
there.
in that scene when he's looking at the photo and looking at her photos that she took when she went to Poland, and there's one of Veronica in the coat, and he's like, oh, look at you look so good in this photo with the coat. She's like, what? That's not me. I'm not in there. And then like she looks closer, and then she just starts like crying, and she curls it up and crunches up into a ball. I just thought that was just such a great scene. I think that Irene Jacob really, I mean, if it wasn't for her, it wouldn't make the movie as effective as it does, as her portrayal.
She did
as her
amazing.
portrayal as just these two people, very similar in a lot of ways, but also kind of giving it the sense of you just really cheer for her. She just seems like she's so full of life. Ironically, one of her dies, but
Yeah.
she does a very similar thing in Three Colors Red, which she's the main star of as well, and kind of more of it is very much a good Samaritan in a lot of ways in Three Colors Red. So.
I think this movie is kind of hard to describe. Like it's weird to describe the feeling that it kind of gives off. I guess that's my other thing I wanted to say.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's not. But it's like he very much dabbles in this idea of like all these themes come up in a lot of his films, as far as like and all this other like more spiritual philosophical stuff. Like there's that one that he did that I really gotta see called let me look it up. I want to say Blind Chance, where it's like
Was that
kind of like
pre this one?
yeah, it was
Okay.
what 87. It was even before the Decalogue.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it was like it's like about like three separate like outcomes of like this guy's like life and stuff. So I think
Mm.
he's very much interested in
That
the
reminds me of
idea.
Mr. Nobody, which I'm sure they probably
Yeah,
pulled from his work. If that's the case.
yeah, kind of like Mr. Nobody or
Yeah.
Run Lola Run if you've seen that one,
I
the
haven't
Tom
seen that one
Tweaker.
yet, unfortunately.
But it's like Run Lola Run is like much. It's like about like I'm going to like it's three separate storylines of like what should she do, Lola, the main character in it,
Mhm.
like to get money that she needs to pay back by a certain time. And so like Blind Chance is like three separate examples of like fate
Mhm.
that could happen. And I find all this stuff to be very interesting. And I think me and Kieslowski kind of think of things in a similar way in that
Mhm.
sense through at least what he projected himself to be through his films.
Mhm.
So that's why I really like him, and as I watch more of his films and continue to fall in love with them, he
Mhm.
continues to move up the ranks for me as one of my favorites.
Mhm. See,
Director.
I love philosophical films. Like, have you seen Naked before?
I still have not watched any Mike Lee, and
Okay.
I gotta, yeah.
So I love Naked, and I love I mean, from the first episode of the Decalogue that I saw, I really, really liked that. I just haven't, like I said, I
Yeah.
haven't finished it, but I'll get around to it at some point. Where was I trying to go with that? So I really want to get through the rest of Mike Lee's films, and then no, I'm thinking of Michael. No, I'm thinking of someone else now. Anyways, yeah. With this film, I think I wasn't able to get that reading out of it just because I had a hard time getting into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well,
yeah.
you shouldn't be able to say that until you watch like 5 more of his movies, and then you can come back to me and you can tell me that. Okay.
Well, I will.
Okay.
I intend on finishing Decalogue, so those are kind of mini movies.
They are,
and then
yes.
I'll get around to the trilogy for sure. It's definitely high up on my list. Do you have any finishing thoughts that you kind of want to say about the film?
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
please watch this movie. Like I would, if I could quantify my recommendation into a number, it would be 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably the best thing I've watched this week, other than maybe Bad Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Criterion Channel. Stream it, yeah, and then just watch more Kieslowski.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. What about you?
Say it's a soft recommendation. I definitely say check it out. But I say that with every film because I think everyone. I know you can probably quote me on this, but everyone experiences film in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So you might like it way more than I did. I think it's a good movie. I had a hard time getting into it, but regardless, it's a recommendation. It's a very interesting movie. So I'd say, if you were looking at maybe a happier watch, maybe save this one, do a double feature, get a happy movie with it if you really want to balance it out.
Watch This Is the End.
Exactly. These films should be studied together, I think, and I'm excited to see them in the similarities that they hold. So I think me and Chris want to announce something that we're working on at the moment.
Yeah.
And so we are still going to continue to have our normal episodes like this that come out each Monday. But we're working on a different type of episode, and it'll probably come out alongside those ones. We haven't really decided when it will come out, what day and what time, but if you want to keep up with updates, we made an Instagram at Review Dudes Podcast 43. If you want to follow that to kind of keep up with updates, but we're going to be starting a franchise retrospective where we'll slowly move our way through a franchise. I'm thinking each week. We'll see, because I know things are kind of crazy right now with the pandemic and college and all that stuff. But we'll move through a franchise, and we're talking about bringing in guests, and it'll kind of allow us to have a bit more of a freer, kind of looser, kind of just talking about a franchise that, we want to look at, and also like look at its impact that it's had on film and maybe culture at the time.
Divergent is the first franchise.
We're happy to announce we're throwing out a few ideas, but I don't want to say anything just yet. Until we have something locked down.
I don't want to promise anything, but
I don't want to give any hopes up. But yeah, I'm super excited to bring this and have it kind of marry into what we got going on. It'll bring more, a different kind of. The reason I'm kind of doing this and wanted to do this is because it kind of gives us an option to talk about more films, and kind of films that we don't get to really go into good detail about with our current thing. But I love what we're doing now, so I don't want to change that and add in another thing, because I know it can kind of, we already have 3 different sections that we do within this one. I think adding in another thing, I don't know if it would really fit,
3, if we want to have Joe Rogan length episodes, 5 hours.
Yeah, no, I don't. I know me and you try to keep it around the 1 hour mark, and I know we kind of go over it a little bit, but whatever I think is natural, I think is okay. But like I said, it gives us an opportunity to bring in some friends, some guests. So we're super excited about that, and I'll go ahead and announce the next week's feature film, which will be, me and Chris are gearing up for Halloween, so I thought it would be cool if we did a horror film. So we're going to do Candyman. Have you seen Candyman?
I have not.
Okay, I have not
never
either.
seen.
Yeah.
So, this would be perfect to anticipate the Candyman remake, but that is no longer coming out this year. So,
well, maybe we'll do like a quickie or something, or review it and just kind of throw it up. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. But as usual, me and Chris hope. Well, I'm sure Chris agrees. I didn't mean to talk for the both of us. We hope that everyone. We hope that everyone is safe during this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys, stay wavy, and watch some good movies, and peace out.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.